When you come into the office on that first day, we always start by collecting a little bit of information, a bit of health history, ask you a few questions to provide a little bit of a framework for when we go through our history and our examination. I want them to tell me their story, what's going on, what troubles them, and that kind of guides me on what they're really dealing with, where they're at. And so after we do the history, we move on to an examination. And it starts off very postural, again, where I'm just mostly talking to the patient and I have them stand up and I get to kind of look at their standing posture. And then we move on and we lay the patient down straight on the table and we do a supine leg length analysis. And so we look at the patient along and we check the length of the legs. And with that assessment, what we will see is that when the upper neck is misaligned, you end up with this asymmetry in the spinal muscles. And so one side of the spinal column is receiving slightly more signal than the other. It pulls one side of the spine a little tighter. When a patient is forced to lay straight, flat out, you will see that as one leg contracted shorter than the other. And we'll continue on, do a little bit more of a physical examination, some orthopedic testing, some palpation of the spine to see where they're tender, where they're hurting, are any tissues tight, is anything responding, reflexes, motor strength where necessary. And once we've made all this determination as to how a patient is standing, we do a standing postural assessment where we also check the levels of the shoulders and the pelvis. And then we proceed to imaging. And so we go and we do our NUCA set of imaging. And then, I explain to the patient, okay, so now I have the imaging and I'm going to analyze it. Once I've had a chance to analyze it and kind of assess the health and everything that's going on, I then get to bring the patient back. Then I get to explain to them what we see with the NUCA analysis, what is happening. And then I get to explain the treatment. And that's what we do in NUCA. We get that upper neck aligned correctly, allowing their body to better express both its posture and improve sort of the ability for the body to communicate with itself.